Hey, it's Barry here. Welcome to my Virgin Kitchen. I hope you are well. Today we are making our very own homemade strawberry and lime sorbet. Great in a cone or even served in a big old dish. Absolutely stonking. Honestly, this recipe is gonna blow your mind. It's super, super good. Thank you to everyone on Twitter that took part in the poll to determine what flavour this sorbet was gonna be. Alrighty then, one of the first questions you are gonna ask me is, can I make this without an ice cream making machine? And yes you can. This is my new toy. It's an ice cream making machine, and the actual bucket thing has been in my freezer overnight, which you need to do for most ice cream making machines. But something as simple as a cake tin will be an alternative. Just make the mix as exactly how I'm going to do it, and you pour it into this, stir it in the freezer every sort of half an hour, rough it up with a fork, and it will start to get firmer and firmer and firmer. That's pretty much it. I don't know why I bought one now. Well, I do, actually. I got this Ben & Jerry's book, which teaches you how to make actually homemade Ben & Jerry's. So that was why I did get it, and I will be doing that sometime. But I saw a beer sorbet. I thought everyone would love that. Hinted it in a previous video. But turns out from a Twitter poll, they didn't. So I did another Twitter poll, and strawberry and lime won. Either way, whichever way you want to do it, you're going to need yourself a saucepan first of all, because we are going to make our syrup. Let's start to make this syrup. So saucepan, boosh, place it down like so. Look after the pan. Caress it, care for it. 500 milliliters of water, which is approximately 2 cups. And I know that because it says it on the side of the jug. 100 grams of sugar, which I think is about half a cup of sugar. You see that? All cloudy. For this recipe, we need 3 limes. Do, 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 do. Do you remember that song, 2 times? No, okay. I mean, speaking of 2 limes, we just need the zest off of 2 limes just for the moment. We're going to infuse this little syrup that we're making with a bit of lime zest. I sounded like a pirate then. I think I'm getting obsessed with the old scallion. A bit of lime zest. If you want to, you can add lime zest into it later, so you keep that little bit of zesty texture in there, but it will get strained off when we push it through a sieve later. But you have got another lime if you want to get fancy. All right, so we put that down on the heat. Medium flame, stir this through just to dissolve all that sugar up. Oh my gosh, that smells so limey. I'm loving that. Oof. All right, so whilst that water is just getting up to a simmer, that's what we want to do, simmer it for a couple of minutes. I'm going to use a gadget, all right? My lemon and lime squeezer. This is amazing. 3 limes. Jug. Boop. The juice of 3 limes, and this is beautiful for that. Boom. And you also get left with these really random like lime buttons that go well on a shirt. Don't do that. Let's see how the syrup's getting on. All right, beautiful. So it's not quite at a simmer yet. Once it does hit that simmer, we'll leave it for 5 minutes. So let's jump to it simmering. All right, so about a minute later, and we've got a simmer going. So I'm turning the heat down low, and we're gonna keep it on a gentle simmer for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I can use another gadget to have a hull of a time. Well, hey. In a minute, it's going to get whizzy in the food processor, so we're going to use that as kind of like our storage canister right now. But for the moment, we're on a highway to hull. We're going to hull our strawberries. I'm just going to use my gadget thing because it's amazing. As I showed you the other day, you can do this with a straw as well if you like, or just nip it off the top. But I've got quite a few strawberries to do, and don't forget to leave a couple for a garnish. Not a couple as in a man and wife, no. Put a man and wife on top of your sorbet as a garnish. No, a couple of strawberries. If you didn't see the kitchen tour already, my middle drawer in the kitchen is absolutely crammed full of gadgets. I do actually use a heck of a lot of them right now, because a lot of them are genuinely helpful. They save so much time. Like this thing. It's kind of fun because it makes me feel like I'm using a crane or something. I'm getting there with these strawberries, but it's been 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn that off the heat, all right? When you turn the heat off your hob, the dance move is optional. It needs to cool down anyway, so we might as well just let it sit there and chill. Yeah. Whereas I just keep continuing on that highway to... In goes our last strawberry. I'm actually quite tempted to put some balsamic vinegar in with this to give it some zing, but we'll get enough of that from the lime. But balsamic does go really well with strawberries. So what we'll do is carefully pour on that syrup. Oh yeah. So the water, sugar and lime zest. You can see how hot that is, the smoke coming up hopefully. And then the juice from our 3 limes straight on there together. You could mix it together before pouring it into this, but it's all going to get whizzed up anyway. Once we whiz this up, we will pass it for a sieve, but you can tweak it at this point now. Maybe some more lime juice, maybe some more sugar, maybe some more strawberries, but it should be all right. Got a mountain of whole strawberries. If you really want to be over the top, you could probably simmer these through and then pass it for a sieve so you get every bit of strawberry out, but I think we'll be okay. Before I whiz this up, I don't tell you guys this enough. I actually have a no-bake dessert recipe playlist. It's actually full of videos from over the years. I'll put a link in this video somewhere and in the description. So if you want some inspiration, check it out. But let's whiz. All right, I'm just going to keep going until I can get it as smooth as I can. You might not get every single lump out of that. It's fine because we're going to pass it through a sieve anyway. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking much more strawberryish now. All right, I got a little bit excited by the whiz in there. It's really, really smooth actually. There's only maybe a couple of lumps, but the sieve will catch that out. All right, I'll just put that to one side and I've got a little bit of recycling done. It is recycling day. Wednesday is recycling day here for me. So the bins haven't been collected. Let's go to the recycling out. Always remember to separate your cardboards and your plastics and your tins, all right, because it keeps them happy. Anyhow, back to a normal cooking video. Oh my word, that is phenomenal. This is the time, as I say though, if you're not happy with how it tastes, put a bit more lime in there, put a bit more sugar, put a bit more strawberry, but that's the perfect balance between sweetness, citrus zing, and fruity punch. Because this doesn't have a spout on it, and the jug does, I'm going to use a sieve. Now, guys, are there any like sieve gadgets out there? Because I hate, right, remember I've got that whisk where you push it off after whipping and it cleans it out for you, right? Yeah, this thing, you know, where you whisk it and then you just push that off and it takes all the cream with it. If someone can invent, actually I do know an inventor, well about 5 of them, like that with a sieve. So I'm just going to do this in batches. It's going to hold up those seeds, any maybe leaves that have escaped my hulling gadget. You get the idea. This is going to take some time, but we're just leaving behind all these lumps. So we are now left with a super smooth strawberry and lime mix. This is now at room temperature. Stick it in the fridge for about an hour because it needs to be cool to start to help the sort of freezing process anyway. You all right, mate? You all right? Good. He was just suddenly going like that. He was actually taking in the education about the strawberry lime combo. But after that, this is a stage where it's either the ice cream maker or the tin where you just keep hacking up every half an hour. You hack it up with a fork, as I say, then smooth it out before putting it back in the freezer, and then eventually you'll have sorbet. So I'm going to stick it in the fridge. All right, so that has actually been 50 minutes, so almost an hour. That'll do for me. I've just checked out the instructions of the ice cream maker. Very, very simple. So it's all there on the counter, apart from the bucket, as I said, I've put in the freezer for 24 hours. And what it said about sorbet is, although it will freeze it and churn it up probably after about 20 minutes, possibly, it can vary per recipe. After that, it still recommends putting it in the freezer for a complete firm. So if you're not using an ice cream maker, you're probably going to be better off. Anyhow, bucket out of the freezer. This will be very cold, so I'll hold oven gloves. I should have wrapped it in a plastic bag as well, they did say that. Oh, I felt like Doc Brown then. We stick in our stirrer. I'm not touching the sides because that'll be like Dumb and Dumber style with the tongue with my fingers. So now I can pour this in. Oh, see? Oh, right in there. And apparently it's just a very simple on-off switch, so we just do that. All right, so generally all these instructions say the same thing of leaving it to churn in there for 20 to 25 minutes. For some reason I thought it'd be done in like 2. But once it is done, I'm gonna transfer it out into these dishes that I'll keep in the freezer to really firm up. It is really starting to freeze. I'll just show you and then we'll jump to it. Oh, Journey. It's nearly there. Let's go. Oh, that is ready to eat now. It's like a soft sorbet. I'm gonna get it in these dishes. I don't have lids for them, so I'm gonna wrap them in cling film, hence the wrap master there. You can see it's holding its shape quite well. Let's get this in the freezer. I made a little bit of a mess, but that one's going in the freezer too. So it does say at least an hour and a half to 2 hours minimum for it to firm up to like a hard set. But I would have it as soft, but I want to try and get some nice shapes for a presentation at the end. All right, folks, that has been over 2 hours in the freezer. It's so warm today that I don't know if it's gonna, the kitchen actually is baking. It probably will just sort of go soft quite quickly. You might recognize this dish from the clear soup. Oh my gosh. Look. Yeah, it's still a little soft. It needs to be in there overnight, I think, really. But look. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh. Look at this. Yes. I just took the whole lid off that. It is so good. Really refreshing. The strawberries in there really working together. Of course, there's a little bit of the sugar kicking there, but I feel like you could probably tweak that a little bit. And you've got that lime zing. It's just enough. Works a charm. So now it's your turn. Don't forget, if you try any recipes, send me a picture on social media and let me know down below what you want to see next. I'll see you again next time.